Hey everyone! So I came up with an idea to see the camera improvements across the several generations of iPhone. And here it is, the camera comparison between the brand new Apple iPhone 11 and the old iPhone SE. Just to inform you, SE has exactly the same camera as the iPhone 6s. We will investigate how big of a difference those 3 years made. Starting with the first picture, we can see the obvious difference in the HDR. The newer phones tend to have it very strong. Personally, I prefer the iPhone 11's picture, but some of you may prefer that less processing, and it's really nothing wrong with that. Also, if you will go into the crop, you will notice that nothing is for free, and that extra processing in the iPhone 11 comes with the price of the elevated level of noise. In the second picture, you can see how the exposure control works on each device. In this case, some of you may argue iPhone SE looks better, but most of the time I would say the iPhone 11 is more consistent in proper exposure of the pictures, as you can see in this example. And also, look at the HDR once again and the color difference. There is clearly an improvement in overall color accuracy in the new iPhone. But if you will use magnification, slightly more noise in the newer iPhone, and notice that the level of detail is not really any difference between the two. And another image showing the advantage of the 11's exposure control and HDR. SE still doesn't look bad though. So as far as I can tell, the biggest difference probably lies in the overall color tones, white balance behavior, exposure control and that HDR mode. Also, I should mention the difference in the focal length, 26mm on the iPhone 11, 29mm on the iPhone SE. Additionally, iPhone 11 has second ultra-wide-angle lens, which is pretty nice to have. But I won't make a comparison with that, since it's not present on the SE. Another 11's advantage, aside from the quality itself, lies in the autofocus. This is just one of the examples where I had a lot of difficulties getting the old iPhone to focus. Take a look at those red flowers. Many cameras often have problems to reproduce this color correctly. This once again shows the improvement in the color accuracy on the new iPhone. But going into the crop revealed that the level of detail stayed the same. Dear Apple, looks like it's time to switch to the bigger sensor. And again, not much difference. This also shows that the iPhone SE is not that outdated yet, at least in some of the pictures. In the end, unfortunately not much changed in regards to the amount of details, but software improvements, in my opinion, definitely led to the better exposure control, white balance and HDR mode. In addition, you get main camera with wider angle, extra ultra-wide angle lens and better autofocus. In terms of the video quality, I can see the same trend present in the stills. To my surprise, pretty much the same level of detail. The only difference is that the iPhone 11 tends to apply more sharpening. That said, the iPhone 11 is clearly better in other aspects. Stabilization is vastly improved. It almost looks like it was recorded with a gimbal. The iPhone SE just cannot compare. Dynamic range, exposure control, automatic white balance and autofocus. All of those also seems to be much improved in the new generation of iPhone. Just look at those harsh exposure changes and inconsistency in the automatic white balance behavior on the old iPhone. Now let's dive into the low-light photography. On the side note, in some of those shots I turned off the night mode in the 11. I really didn't have to do it since that new automatic night mode works just so good that there is really no need to switch it on or off, but I decided to give a better chance to the SE. First picture shows that the iPhone 11's noticeable advantage. Picture is just much brighter than one from the SE, and it gets even better with that great night mode. Look at this, just crazy. So you will get much brighter pictures with better handling of noise. The difference is just so pronounced and visible that it doesn't need any further commentary. Same story goes for the low light video. I have some concerns about the noise level and reduced level of detail in the iPhone 11, but when comparing it side by side with the SE, it leaves me speechless. Once again, just look at the footage for yourself. The SE footage in the most parts looks pretty much pitch black, not to mention the difference in the autofocus and etc. In conclusion, the iPhone SE is not a bad camera, but in comparison with the iPhone 11, we can see a lot of improvements in terms of low light performance, color accuracy, HDR, and other aspects related to the image processing. Where I'm disappointed with the iPhone 11 is lack of any improvement in terms of level of detail, both in pictures and video. I think Apple and other manufacturers need to put more effort into that. Once again, maybe it's time to think about bigger sensor, Apple. Thank you for watching, consider watching my other videos and subscribing. Peace!